Malik, can you get it on your phone?
What?
Videotapes and all
Today,
that. Yeah.
I have.
She's doing it too.
You see it. It's clear.
Honor retirements. During today's ceremony, she'll be awarded a Military Service Medal, United States of America flag, Soldier for Life lapel button, and letters of appreciation from the Secretary of the Army, Army Chief of Staff, Sergeant Major of the Army, Chief National Guard Bureau, and the New York Army National Guard Adjutant General. She will also receive the Meritorious Service State Award. The retirement ceremony is one of the oldest and most tradition-rich ceremonies in the United States military. It honors its service members as they retire from long and honorable careers in the service to their country. To the retiree, the ceremony is one of the most important events in her career. The formal ceremony is a courtesy that is offered to all retirement service members. Today's ceremony is in keeping with the customs and proud traditions of the Department of the Army. As a result of the retirement ceremony, the retiree leaves the service with a tangible expression of appreciation for her contributions to the United States Army and its worldwide mission. Additionally, she is assured that she will continue to be a member of the Army family in retirement.
Most of the order.
Attention orders. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is certified by the President of the Army, the President of the United States of America, authorized by the Executive Order, 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal to Lieutenant Colonel Alana Johnson for exceptionally meritorious service to the New York Army National Guard over a 32-year career as Chief Case Master. Lieutenant Colonel Johnson's extraordinary commitment to duty, integrity, and personal skills enhance the readiness and mission capability of multiple units within the Army National Guard, both at home and deployed. Lieutenant Colonel Johnson's outstanding achievement reflects great credit upon herself, the New York Army National Guard, the United States Army. Signed, Raymond F. Shields, Major General, the Adjutant General, New York Army National Guard. Lieutenant Colonel Johnson's 32-year military career as a Chief Case Management Officer has distinguished herself by her devotion and selfless service while assigned to the Medical Readiness Detachment. Lieutenant Colonel Johnson is the officer in charge of coordinating and tracking medically injured and ill soldiers through the complicated profiling process of the Individual Disability Evaluation System. On a yearly basis, she oversaw hundreds of soldiers who had medical issues that needed to be profiled and tracked, ensuring medical records were reviewed to determine medical fitness. Lieutenant Colonel Johnson also supervised and coordinated 60 civilian case management contractors, interfaced with commanders throughout the New York Army National Guard. She provided information regarding their soldiers who were being tracked to communicate deployability and fitness for duty and continued service. As the most senior nurse in the New York Army National Guard, Lieutenant Colonel Johnson provided career counseling and mentorship to the nurse corps within the entire state. Not only the Medical Readiness Detachment, she provided guidance on assignments and schooling that directly increased the professionalism and experience of the nurse corps. Lieutenant Colonel Johnson's experience and knowledge gained through her career significantly impacted her ability to coordinate, care, and mentor for civilian and uniformed personnel within the New York Army National Guard. She's a true subject matter expert in case management. Her dedication to service is in keeping with the finest traditions of the military service and reflects great credit upon herself, the New York Army National Guard, and the United States Army. Lieutenant Colonel Johnson will also be receiving the New York State Meritorious Service Medal for meritorious service from 3 September 1997 to 30 November 2021. We'll give her
Hey.
also
This is the time we say some. Oh, no, God. This is the time we say nice things about you. So that's for later. Your family. But I've been at MedCom since 2011. I mean, we've worked together. I think the best example that I have of what you do, you've done a lot of things. But I remember one time I went to go get some blood drawn, and you drew my blood, and medics are good at it, but you cradled my arm in such a way I felt so comforting, even though I didn't know I was nervous or anything. But you could exude the professionalism and the compassion just comes out of you, like out of your pores. So it's very very comforting to have you here. We appreciate having you here, and I've appreciated working alongside you. And we're obviously gonna miss you, but I guess we got bigger things to do. So, so I know we got Sergeant Major Kusher. Did you want to say something?
Sure, sir. Colonel Johnson, I knew as Captain Johnson during our deployment to Afghanistan back in 2008.
You have so many you can't keep track. 2008.
2008. What I will tell you, which you probably really want to share, is that we were in a very dangerous spot in Afghanistan, Canada. To this day, during our deployment, we lost 32 soldiers and Marines and 189 wounded. I know that by heart. I carry that heart card too. We were at the center of all of those unfortunate KIAs as we got them off the medevac helicopters, could have been more. And I will tell you, Colonel Johnson kept me sane during those time periods and offered a tremendous amount of medical attention to, again, as I mentioned, 189 soldiers that got wounded during combat. Those are no war story things; those are facts. So I'm saddened to see her go. After a while, it means I'm soon behind. But I'll just say, a great soldier. What you've done for the state and your country overall is to be commendable. To the family over here, again, moms, you raised a magnificent daughter that has really made a contribution to society. And again, you guys make sure that you give her her flowers before she walks off that post, because she deserves it. So thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Anybody else have anything they want to add?
Of course I'm gonna come up. All right, so Colonel Johnson, she knows, we have a little joke going around for years now. So one of the things you know about PAs and nurses, we have a little bit of competition. What are the nurses back there, NPs and nurses? We have a little competition, so every time I see Colonel Johnson, I always joke with her. And I say, this nurses, what are the nurses doing to help us? But all joking aside, I gotta tell you, we're gonna lose a lot of experience in the nursing corps for this unit and the National Guard. I don't think we have any of the nurses in the New York National Guard with that experience and that rank. I cannot think of anybody else. Where's Ed? Nope. Nobody. So we don't have any other nurse in the New York National Guard with this rank, with that experience. So we're losing that experience, but we give them back to the family to enjoy her again. And joking aside all the time, she's a tremendous asset to our unit. Exemplary to the new nurses coming in. We have a few nurses. I see them, lieutenants and captains. Follow her steps. And we thank you for your service. Thank you so much.
So I remember my first year, and at that time, Colonel Johnson was Major Johnson, and she was in the lab. She was putting the patient in there and stuff, and getting the vaccine. I remember coming in as a brand new nurse to Medcom and saying, I need a mentor. And she's sitting with me and saying, this is where we're gonna go. And then I remember my OER was due, and I was like, man, I don't know how to do this. She's like, come here, sit next to me. And she sent me all her OERs. And man, I love you. You have been medicine, and I'm sorry to cry because of you, I know my career path. I want to follow in your steps. And I'm kind of making this a career because you have shown me the ropes. And I'm not gonna see. But I'm happy to see that you made the retirement and you done better things. And we'll keep in touch.
Anybody else want to make Colonel Johnson sorry?
Real quick, everyone. There's very few people in the New York Army National Guard who bring me to tears walking off in the sunset, but she's one. So I'll keep my remarks short because I'm with Captain Valerie. But you guys probably already know this. She's the best. That's all I can say. She's walking off. Keep in touch, ma'am, please. By the way, I don't want to dime out. I won't give your exact home record, but you look pretty close. It's not going to be hard to stay connected to Colonel Johnson, but yeah, she is the best. That's all I can say. Thank you. Love you.
Wow. I woke up this morning very stoic, and I said I wasn't gonna cry. It started this morning with my twin. She posted something on Facebook, and it's just been kind of downhill all day. I'm not crying because I'm sad to leave. I have so much to be proud of and so much to be happy for. I've served in the military longer than I've been married to my husband for 31 years, older than both of my children. And longer than I've been a nurse, actually. I enlisted when I was 19 years old. I was a young, crazy freshman in college. And my father, I came home in the summer and I said, you know, I'm bored. I don't think I'm going to work this summer. My father said, well, you're going to do something. He said, you're going in the Army. And I was like, okay. So literally 3 weeks after my freshman year in college, I was at Fort Jackson in basic training. It happened just that quick. My father was a career soldier. He got mortally wounded in Korea. He got burned over 80% of his body, and he was disfigured. I didn't know the man was disabled. He didn't know he was disabled. He just kept going and going and going and going. So that resiliency, that love for serving others, basically that's the bottom line, comes from my mother, that 94-year-old lady sitting over there, and my father. They spearheaded it all. They were two poor black people from Georgia, who grew up in segregated Georgia in the 30s and 40s, and they came to New York to make a better life for their children. They put 5 children and 3 nephews through college, and now my mother's here to see 4 generations. So I'm so glad, if for nothing else, I'm glad that you are here to witness this, because I couldn't have done any of this without you. Unbeknownst to most of you, I have not spent a lifetime in MedCom. I started out in the reserves. I was in the 820th General Hospital that was out of Queens, and the 320th Evacuation Hospital, which was of the school. When they were consolidating and putting reserve units together, I came over to the National Guard in, I don't even know, maybe 1994, 95-ish. So I came to MedCom, and I kind of pretty much stayed the course. I wasn't too motivated. I think I was an E4 for about 10 years. But I had just finished my associate degree in nursing, and I had my commander was a male nurse. He was a major, and he said, oh, you don't have to do that thing anymore. Just sign up to be an officer. I said, where do I sign? So I got a direct commission. So my first point of advice is get a mentor. Get a mentor. It doesn't matter who it is, what branch they're in, it could be somebody in a different branch. Some of my best mentors in the military have been NCOs. So you could be an officer, get an NCO mentor. So get a mentor, be a mentor. So once you get that knowledge and that experience, you pass that on. That's how we learn and that's how we grow. That was my second piece of advice. We're the nurses. I had a little group meeting with the nurses. What was my other piece of advice? Y'all remember? I don't remember. So get a mentor, love being a mentor. Oh, and something else that I didn't do. I didn't go to all of the military schools that I probably should have. Back in the day, they said nurses and GAs, you don't have to do all that stuff. That's not true, don't do that. And I know for the most part, the leadership of this unit is very good now. They encourage all of our medical officers to go to school. So go to school, get any type of training that the military offers, go and get it because it pays off in the civilian world. Even though we are all civilians, when we're not here, that just augments our professional careers in the civilian world. So go to school, any school they offer. And the fourth piece of advice I was gonna say is, don't be afraid to leave MedCom. Don't be afraid to leave MedCom. MedCom is not the end all be all. So when I deployed, they transferred me to Charlie Med up in Buffalo. Where's Colonel Golden? He must not be here. So, and that's where I met First Sergeant Irwin, and I met probably a couple of other people there. Engelbrecht and Miller, I believe. That's where our professional relationship started. So I went kicking and screaming. I was like, I gotta go to Buffalo with him? Because I had a drill in Buffalo to do preload before we actually deployed. So it was the best experience of my life. The hardest experience of my life, but it was the best experience of my life. Second thing I did was, I did a stateside mobilization just 4 years ago, and I was the nurse case manager in charge of 28 case managers, mixed civilian and Army, and I worked down in Fort Belvoir for 3 years. Best job I've ever had in my entire life. So don't be afraid to leave MedCom. And the last piece of advice I'm gonna give you guys is hunt the good stuff. You guys who know me, you know that I'm a master resiliency trainer, and that is my favorite MRT skill, is hunt the good stuff. Always and all the time. Now I wanna quick acknowledge my family. My brother, he's the only one who can render a proper salute because he's the only one who followed in my father's footsteps. So he did 10 years in the service, and I thank you for always respecting the uniform. Now, not that nobody else respected it, but my oldest sister, Ann, right there, she calls me Sarge to this day. 35 years in the military, rank of 05, and she calls me Sarge. Hey, Sarge, what do you think about this? But I love her. She's probably one of my biggest supporters. And then my great niece, my mother is here to see four generations, which I'm grateful for, and she is our designated family photographer. And the three people who probably sacrificed the most, my 2 children and my spouse. I know I missed a lot of games, missed a lot of family functions, but I did it all for you guys. I did it all for you guys, and I hope that I'm an example for you all and they get it. They both get it. My son's a teacher. My daughter works at the CDC at West Point. They both serve. They give. They love children. They mentor children. So I hope that I was that example for the 2 of you. And Caitlin, I thank you for traveling down from Utica with my son. Malik and Caitlin met in college. They've been together, 5 years? If he don't ask her to marry her, I will. But that's how your father and I got started. So you guys keep that bond. And then my husband, he's really been my rock. We've been together 31 years. And I've been in the military for 35, so he knew what he was getting into. Plus, he did his own bid on active duty for 6 years. So he knew what the deal was, but I think that when I got my 20-year letter in 2008, I was in Afghanistan. He was like, oh, she's retired. 10 years later, and I'm finally retiring, babe. So we can work on that 10-year retirement. So I cannot thank you all for being here and always being, and I forgot my twin. How I forget my twin? So my twin sister, she engages in combat on a daily basis. She is a math teacher, and she travels to the South Bronx every day for the past 25 years. Yeah. So she says, I'm tough. I could never do that. First of all, the commute alone would have killed me. Second of all, she teaches in the South Bronx. So that's very commendable. So it just goes to show you, my son got an award a couple of weeks ago for community service. And he said it best. He said, it's in our DNA. And we get it from that little lady right there. So I can't thank you all enough for coming here to be with me to witness this. And thank you for your many, 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 many years of support and love. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
You finished?